I spent my entire career honing my skills in many different practice areas as possible. Early on, I was introduced to municipal law, and that's something that I continue to do a large volume of today in my practice. Also, as a young lawyer, I learned tax and real estate law as a solicitor for the Washington County Department of Revenue. And with the looming county-wide reassessment that's coming, I think it is certainly important that we have a judge who understands the complex issues involved in the reassessment. I was also an assistant district attorney. In the DA's office, I learned the ins and outs of criminal law and prosecuted thousands of adult and juvenile cases. As a DA, I was assigned to the criminal docket as well as the adult docket. But in the juvenile area, that's where I got a real heart for kids. I think I understand the struggles of today's family and youth because of that experience. My broad and diverse experience in these areas, I believe, makes me an ideal candidate and will do you a great service on the Washington County bench. Thank you for this opportunity.
Alan.
In closing, I do want to finish my story that I talked about earlier about my client Jason, and I do have his mother's permission to talk about it. It is on my website. That so we understand that Jason was a Navy corpsman, and I know there are people here that have military background. His job was to collect remains of other service members, and he was fine with that until he came across the remains of one of his friends. I stand by why I'm running for judge today, as we do have a problem in this county with the number of veterans returning from Iraq and Afghanistan who no longer are quite right. They have mental health issues, alcohol, drug, and they're ending up in court. We have a veterans court here in Washington County, and we have the foresight to do that. But the people running it, no one's a veteran. Just absolutely shocking. I'm the only candidate that is running for a judge that fully understands this issue. We are seeing a very tiny tip of an iceberg that is coming at the court system for the next 20 years. I've been an Army lawyer, I've been in general practice, I was a federal prosecutor, and I feel that that experience lends itself that I am best suited to be one of your next judges, and I am asking for your vote on May 21st.
Valerie.
Well, growing up in Washington County, I learned the value of a strong work ethic, education, and family. My dad was a union steelworker who worked at McGraw-Edison, and my mom was a receptionist and a homemaker. My dad always had a second job, and both of my parents instilled in me how important it was for us to study hard and go to college, because neither of them ever had the opportunity to do that. Having grown up in Washington County and raising my own children here, I have a vested interest in this community. I want to make Washington County a better and safer place, not only for my children to grow up, but also for all of your children to grow up as well. I'm running for judge because Washington County needs and deserves an honest, respectful judge with judicial temperament and experience. My 18 years of courtroom experience, both as a prosecutor and as a district judge, makes me uniquely qualified to serve on the Court of Common Pleas. I'm the only candidate here with judicial experience. I'm the only candidate who has ruled on evidentiary issues or who has ruled on procedural issues. Right now, there are 2 vacancies on the court, and we have 4 judges doing the work of 6. It's more important than ever to elect a judge who has experience and who doesn't need any on-the-job training. Most importantly, Washington County needs an honest and trustworthy and accountable judge with a judicial temperament. With other candidates, you have to guess what type of temperament they have. With me, you don't have to guess because I've demonstrated it over the last 14 years. I've been in the courtroom, I've been handling a large caseload, and I have a proven record that I can effectively manage a high caseload of cases. As the only candidate who has served on both sides of the bench, I think I bring a unique perspective to this, and I would be able to effectively serve in the Court of Common Pleas, and I would respectfully ask for your consideration on May the 21st.
Chuck.
I also want to thank everyone for coming out and having this opportunity. A judge is sworn to protect, preserve, and the Constitution and laws of this Commonwealth. Half the judges in our courthouse have now been written up by newspapers. There's a crisis in the courthouse. Attorneys challenged one judge for altering trial transcripts. Another judge suddenly resigns during a grand jury investigation involving drug evidence. And a third judge is being scolded by the Superior Court for conduct unbecoming the judge. And 33 years, I have never seen such a train wreck. In the past 2 weeks, we've had 4 shootings, 2 deaths, just minutes away from your house. Do you feel safe? My house is surrounded by electronic security measures. My parents never had to live like that. An arsonist burnt down my building. I had over $200,000 in damages. So far, I've collected $86 from this criminal. Someone assaulted me in the courthouse. I had serious injuries. He was charged with simple assault and the judge dropped it to disorderly conduct. He wasn't even ordered to pay my medical bills. What did the system do for me? Nothing. But it did help me feel the pain victims are going through. And I promise you, if you are a victim in my courtroom, you will have the right, you will have your rights protected, and you will be a priority under the Victims' Bill of Rights, something that I don't think all the judges have read. I will never do anything to make you sorry you voted for me or betray your public trust. If you agree with me, vote your conscience and vote Kurowski for judge. Thank you.
Tom?
I would like to thank everybody for coming out this evening, the Bar Association and the League of Women Voters. The history of the Washington County legal system is pretty fascinating. It goes back at least 100 years plus before our courthouse that we have now was built. My sister actually bought a preceptor certificate in a flea market in Philadelphia. She gave it to me. And it's dated 1804. And a preceptor certificate is a certificate that lawyers would have to execute to certify that another lawyer was ready to practice law before law schools came into being. And that's from 1804 in Washington County. It's still a legible document, and it's fascinating because it tells you about lawyers practicing law in Washington 100 years before that courthouse was built. And the future of this county is every bit as bright as it is for the legal system as well. They talk about gas and oil jobs doubling in Pennsylvania by the year 2020. And Washington County prides itself on being the energy capital it needs. What's that going to do to the legal system in Washington? It's going to expand, it's going to tax it, it's going to mean that the judges have to be ready to handle more workload. We'll probably have more judges in this. I believe that I have the experience to hit the ground running as a trial lawyer, to be able to move cases through the system, to know how to resolve cases, and better the county.
Let's give the candidates a hand. And again, thank you to all of you in the audience for coming and showing your dedication to being informed voters. I want to let you know this program was recorded tonight and will be posted on YouTube and broadcast on local cable channels that we're able to use. So please spread the word for people to look for this information. Also, the League of Women Voters Voters Guide will be published the week of May 14th, the week before the election, and distributed in local newspapers. And don't forget to vote on the 21st. Thank you.